and welcome to this training video on how to install your first B4 bot. B4 bots can be installed on the same server as the B4 controller, as well as on other Windows servers and workstations. This video will cover how to install the bot on this particular server. We will cover the following steps. Firstly, how to create a Windows user for the bot. Then, where to download the latest B4 agent, how to install the B4 agent, and finally, installing the B4 bot. Let's begin. Since the B4 bot will run within a dedicated server session, we first need to create a Windows user that the bot will use to execute its actions. To create a user on a Windows server, run the Server Manager. Click on Computer Management. And add a new user. Let's name this user bot01. Make a note of the user credentials, which you will need during the bot installation. Optionally, you can set the bot user to have local administrative rights. However, this is not required for the bot to execute its actions. The next step is to download and install the latest B4 Windows agent. Bots are installed on top of so-called B4 agents, so first we need to install a B4 agent on the machine that we would like to run the bot on. You can download the latest B4 agent from the B4 dashboard. Make sure you have a compatible browser, and set it as your default browser. In this case we will use Google Chrome. You can access the B4 dashboard using the same credentials you use for the B4 controller. Once inside the B4 dashboard, we enter the Download section and choose the Windows agent. B4 supports many different operating systems for IT automation. However, the B4 bot runs exclusively on Windows operating systems. Now we can run the B4 agent installation. Choose an appropriate location for the agent. Here we need to define the IP address of the B4 controller that the agent will connect to. The agent will use port 2501 to connect to the B4 controller. If you are installing the agent on a remote location, enter the public IP address of your controller, otherwise you can enter the local IP address. In this case the agent is on the same machine as the controller, so we will use the local address. The installation should only take a few minutes. Lastly, we can name the agent, as it will appear in the B4 controller. Remember, you can install multiple bots on one agent, so choose a name accordingly. After the agent installation is completed, within another few minutes, the agent will appear in the root of the Object Manager. You can use the shortcut F5 to refresh the list within the B4 controller. Now, before we install the bot on top of this agent, let's create a new object structure. Simply click on File, New Pod. A pod is a top hierarchy structure, and can represent a location, a department, or a process group, for example. Let's call this one, HR Department. Under the pod, we need a device group, where we will place the new agent and any future agents we may add to this group. Right-click on the newly created pod, and choose Device Group. Let's name it, My Agents, since we can add multiple agents to this group. Now we can right-click on the device groups, and add the agent as a new member. The next step is to install the B4 bot on the agent. Simply right-click on the agent and choose Install. Here, we first want to make sure that we are installing the so-called virtual client IMM. Let's name it Bot01. And we can define a process name. The username and password of the bot is the Windows user we have previously configured in the Windows User Manager. These are the Windows credentials the bot will use to log into the session and execute its actions. We can complete the installation by clicking Finish. The bot will be installed under the agent, so let's expand the structure below. Here it is, currently in installing status. After a few minutes, you will now see Bot01 appear as installed. You can follow the same steps to install and add further bots to your controller. Thank you for watching.